Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge YouTube channel, as well as Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube for another edition of Smack Talk, our review of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. And of course, I am joined by the legend himself, the greatest mustache in professional wrestling history and YouTube history, Dutch Mantell.
Absolutely. I appreciate you saying that. I really do. Because some people were trying to say, is your mustache, was it better than Rick Rude's? And I said, oh, please. Then they put up somebody else. I said, come on, that's small stuff. I mean, they had a nice looking mustache, but it's nothing like this. I mean, this has been curated over the years. So, but anyway, how are you, Sid?
I am doing pretty well. I've been under the weather, but otherwise been doing well. But I don't miss weeks. I don't miss weeks. But our good friend Rick Chicino did miss this week because
Yeah.
he is working. He's working hard, doing his other 9 to 5, which becomes a 9 to 11 on some weeks, like this week. It is fine. We hold down the fort for Rick Ucino as we're going to have another edition of Smack Talk reviewing Friday Night SmackDown as we are revving up and getting very, very closer to Cleveland, Ohio, SummerSlam. What did you think about tonight's show overall before we get into the minutia of it all?
Well, first the question, are you going to SummerSlam? No, you're in the
No, I am
UK.
not. Yeah,
You're in
I'm
the
in the
UK.
UK. I'll probably go to all
But
in if they let me in.
but yeah, that's always my problem. You can't come in. You can't come in.
Yeah, yeah.
But
They'd be
but
like, you talk about WWE too much. You can't come into the
yeah,
AEW event.
but Rick is going,
Yeah.
right. He's going.
Yes.
Well, I wish I could go, but you know how many matches I've seen my whole career and worked in. It has to be close to 30, 40,000.
Wow. I was gonna
And
say
you
higher
can,
than that. I was gonna say 100,000.
it won't be 100,000, but it's about half that, about 40, I'd say. But you know, after you watch so many matches, you sit there like this, like, oh God, let's go, do something. And after a while, it just wears your ass out. Not that I'm worn out, but I mean, I can only watch so many matches and be objective about it.
Yeah.
Guys used to come back in the dressing room after match. How was the match? And I said, man, it was friggin' great. Really? Oh yeah, keep it up, keep it up. I didn't even watch it, but they didn't know that. I should have just picked it apart. I said, that was living craps out there. My God, what's wrong with it? I said, everything. I said, it'd be easier to tell you what was right with it, but everything was wrong with it. No, I'm not like that. I usually encourage guys because, and I've seen bookers when young guys come back, they mess up a spot. Oh, they just cuss them out. I told one booker one day, I said, man, don't do that. Why? I
Yeah.
said, no, they didn't mean to do it. Tell them what they did wrong and tell them to correct it. But you hollering and screaming just gets them upset and scared. You think so? I said, yeah, well, I know so because
Yeah.
I've watched you do it. So, and I said, if you do it again, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. So let's stop. I had to threaten them sometimes. But yeah, tonight's SmackDown, it amazes me every time I see a SmackDown how well it's produced. And this had some, it didn't have any boring matches because the matches tonight went went the time that was necessary. And except the last one, you could almost tell what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you knew what it was going on. And then they worked it up. But I like their timing. Their timing is right on. 4 minutes before the hour, and that's when they came out. So we know we got 3 minutes or at least 2 minutes to go before they're taking off. But it was a good show tonight. Not a blowaway show. Not as good as one we saw 3 weeks ago or four
But
weeks
much
ago.
better than last week. Last week was, like I said, it was jarringly mid, was my wording for last week's show.
Jarringly, yeah. I was trying to remember that the other day. I said, what was the term that Sid used for mediocre, jarringly mid. So, and that was it. And that's what they is one move in there. Who was in the first match? I forgot.
The opening match, I believe, was Carmelo Hayes and Andrade,
Yep.
which was was my match of the night
Oh,
for the show.
no, that was a great match. And what I liked Andrade's moonsault backwards, the double moonsault, and he missed it.
Yeah.
And then he hit the short one. I popped for that. I've never seen that before. So now, if I go back to wrestle, that's one of the first moves I'm going to learn how to do. How to do the back thing and miss it.
Land on your feet and then hit a
I land on
standing
my feet.
moonsault.
Yeah, and the guy said, "Well, that's it," and then I do it again. I fooled you, but no, they had a good match. How heavy is Andrade?
He's got to be
230?
like 230, 235 at this point.
Well, he moves good to be 230. And Carmelo Hayes, a lot of potential on him. Plus, what's going to help him is he has a personality.
Yes.
And he does a pretty decent interview. And I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We also got our Brainbuster game. If you watched Legion of Raw this week, Vince Russo and Dr. Chris played the game that is up on sportskeeda.com/WWE. You can play their new game, Brainbuster, and me and Dutch will be playing that today. But before we get into all of that, we do have to discuss some Friday Night SmackDown. So sound off in the live chat. Tell us your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown this week. We'll try to highlight some of your comments, but if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you could do that with a super chat donation. But the free thing that you could do for us is drop the thumbs up, share this video on all your favorite social media platforms, and hit the subscribe button for more exclusive content here at Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge. Interviews, post shows, all types of stuff you can enjoy here on the channel. But let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown.
Let me ask you something. Did you see, during the Republican convention, did you see Hulk Hogan be the special guest and give that speech?
Yes, I did.
Well, I'll say one thing. I'm looking at that crowd. I'm going, wow, all these are wrestling fans? Because you're looking at mid-America out there, and they knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Trump everybody knew who he was. So, and remember what, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, he was almost canceled and everybody wouldn't have anything to do with him. Now he's come full circle. Now he's back and giving a convention speech for Trump. So I thought that was weird, but I was actually, Hulk didn't blow it. Hulk did a good job in doing it. So I'm glad he did that. What do you think about it?
The less I say about Hulk Hogan, I think the better. I don't know if our bosses at Sportskeeda would enjoy what I have to say about Hulk Hogan. So,
really,
yeah,
you just don't like Hulk.
I don't like the person that he's proven to be. I respect everything. I respect everything he did for professional wrestling. He is one of the most known professional wrestlers of all time in a lot of respects. One of the Babe Ruth, but he's also a racist piece of shit. So,
well, that's kind of strong.
I mean, yeah, you asked.
Okay.
But let's go to Friday Night SmackDown.
I know him very well, and I've never been around him when he said any of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't expect anyone to be around when he said any of that stuff, which he still hasn't apologized for. He apologized for getting caught. So
he did apologize for that.
He apologized for getting caught. He didn't apologize for actually saying it. But
okay, let's go.
Friday Night SmackDown was from Omaha.
I wish you hadn't even brought it up. I'm gonna talk to management. I'm gonna talk to management at Sportskeeda. Take me off the show with this guy.
I love
catching me and stuff.
Gaslighting me. You gaslighting me. but yes, Friday Night SmackDown was from Omaha, Nebraska this week, and it kicked off with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, coming down to the ring to address the attack on Randy Orton last week to end the show. Cody was not in a suit. It's like he watches Smack Talk. He watches Smack after Dutch kind of ripped at him for wearing the suit. He came out all business in one of his American Nightmare tees with the sleeves cut off. He greets undefeated boxer Terrence Crawford in the front row. Cody walked over to him, gave him a fist bump. The crowd started chanting loud Cody chants before he even started talking, and he opened up by saying he wants to talk about Randy Orton. He said before Orton was a friend, he was a mentor, and he couldn't be standing there as undisputed WWE champion without Randy Orton. Leads to a Randy chant. Cody talked. Cody talked about feeling guilty that the Bloodline put Orton through a table last week after they were the people that took him out of action for nearly 2 years. They once again were attacking his surgically repaired back, which he had fusion to, and putting him through the table. Cody called Orton family and said that he was his brother. Cody said Orton wouldn't want Cody to talk about the guilt and shame, and instead Cody said he wanted to talk in the camera to the man responsible for the attack, Solo Sikoa. And I like the fact that Cody brought up what he said to Solo back before WrestleMania 39, and he told Solo that he wasn't ready. And Solo went on to cost him the WWE Championship back at WrestleMania 39 when he was the enforcer, and Cody calls the enforcer a cute name, and he says somewhere, of course, Arn Anderson is smiling, Cody referencing that. As Cody kept going on, we get A-Town Down Under music hitting, and Austin Theory alongside Grayson Waller walk out. Theory noted how Jacob Fatu attacked Theory and gave him a swollen cheek, and it was because of Cody. But Cody said that was probably because Waller kneed him in the face. Waller and Theory got on the apron. Waller told Cody he wouldn't have won the title without Orton and stepped into the ring, but Cody attacked. Theory and Waller got the better of him with the numbers advantage until Cody was thrown outside, where Terrence Crawford got involved. He gave him a steel chair. Cody hits both Theory and Waller with the steel chair to set up our main event. As he says, he goes to Nick Aldis after the commercial break and says that he wants Theory and Waller in a handicap match, but Aldis says you have to find a partner for the night. What did you think about this opening segment before we get into everything else that went down with Cody on the night?
I'm going to give it an okay. It wasn't super exciting because he had a run in with him last week too, right?
Something. No. Jacob Fatu is the one that attacked Theory last week to set up the closing segment.
Yeah, Theory and Austin, they just haven't gotten to the phase where they actually belong with Cody in that same ring. So, and it was okay. Cody did his part. Everybody did their part. It was a decent segment, not overwhelming, but decent.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was just a nice general setup for the rest of the show and what would happen in the main event. Before the main event, Dutch, though, we got Solo Sikoa with a little backstage interview. He said that life is so good when you are the tribal chief. Sikoa said life is also busy because of that, because he doesn't have a moment to himself. Solo wondered who would step up to be Cody's partner tonight after what they did to Randy Orton. And he said by proxy, them stepping up to be Cody's partner would be disrespecting the Bloodline. Solo said that if you are on Cody's side, you are against the Bloodline. And he says that tonight better be a handicap match or someone will pay the price. And we would learn that someone was Kevin Owens, who stepped up to the plate. We see him coming out to the ring before Cody does for the main event. And it was a solid affair. It went about 12 minutes with Theory and Waller getting the heat on Owens before Cody got the hot tag in. We get a stunner for Waller. We get a crossroads for Theory. Cody and KO get the victory in this one. So a solid matchup here, but it was all about the post-match once again. again, as usual, with when it comes to the Bloodline, as they come out after Cody and KO are celebrating. Their music hits. It's Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Owens and Cody actually get the better of them. They look like they're about to put Solo through the commentary table when the difference maker comes out. It's Jacob Fatu. He cuts everything off. He beats up Cody. He super kicks KO. He puts KO into the ring. He gives him multiple hip attacks in the corner while they're holding Cody off. And then he hits a big flying headbutt outside the Bloodline, lift Cody up, give him the triple shield bomb through the announce table. Tama Tonga then puts a chair around Kevin Owens' neck and he slams him into the ring post, basically breaking his neck, probably writing him off just like Orton last week. And the Bloodline pose over the broken bodies of Cody and KO as we get "We Want Roman" chants loudly to close the show once again. So once again, the Bloodline stand tall. What did you think about the main event? What did you think about the Bloodline's actions post-match?
Well, the match was okay. What mattered was the post-match, and when they brought the Samoans in, and they're making Jacob Fatu the killer that they need.
Yeah.
Because he can stand up to anybody. And I think if you put those together without somebody like Joseph Fatu, they're just another team. But now when you throw him in there, he makes all the difference in the world because he's the leverage they need and the killer they need. So I think they did a good job with this, and they're working their way toward Cleveland, and I think they'll have a hell of a match there. And I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do there. So, but I think it's going to be a hell of a show, SummerSlam, and if I could go, I would go to that show. Of course, they would make me buy a ticket, I guess. But anyway, I'd refuse should I have no money. I'd say, hey, I need to see Vince. He's not here anymore. Really? What happened there? Okay. But
Hey,
anyway,
Triple H got you. Triple H loves you.
No, he'd let me in. Oh yeah. But
There you go.
it was a good match and a good show because the show flowed. I mean, I didn't feel bogged down in anything. So,
Yeah.
good show. They put it together well.
Got some more heat on the Bloodline here. Are you more interested in the Cody Solo matchup for the match itself, or the fact that many of us, and I think you included, believe that SummerSlam will be the site that we finally get the return of Roman Reigns?
Well, I think if he's going to come in, he's got to come in. I think that'd be a perfect opportunity because if they follow their past behavior, and all three of them get to kicking his ass. If he hits that ring and he comes out there, the stadium's going to come in because the people are saying Roman, Roman, Roman. They're all ready for his return, and I think this is the time for him to get back because when he hits, I think the place is going to explode, and from then on out, you just book Roman just. It writes itself.
Yeah.
Because Roman would go in there, and I see that the Bloodline will try to get back into his good graces again. Then the slimy little bastards turn on Roman, and Cody comes to help him. So now it's 1-for-1, and now they're kind of obligated to each other. And you put them together as a tag team, and we'll go with that for 2 or 3 weeks and on down the line.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out on television after a Roman's return. I think we're fairly certain we'll get the Roman return at SummerSlam, but I'm very interested to see how it plays out on television following SummerSlam. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, how they're going to build it out, because I don't see them doing Roman versus Solo until like SummerSlam. I mean, until like WrestleMania next year.
Yep.
I think they'll wait till Mania to do the big blow off between Solo and Roman for the tribal chief status. I think they wait that long.
Well, they got a good story to tell with that tribal chief. That's just that story. Now you
Yeah.
can bring in all the Samoan elders, the hierarchy. We just who was a Samoan that just passed away recently? Not
Sika,
Sika
Anawai.
and Afa. They could tell a whole story just with that. They could make a whole TV show just out of that, and it'd be interesting because now the people know the background. And are they getting ready to sign two other Samoan girls from NXT?
Not from, I think, for NXT. They were originally on WoW Women of
Yeah, that's
Wrestling,
it.
The Tonga twins. I
Yep.
don't know if they're actually related to the family, but they were kind of anointed into the family, kind of how they do sometimes by The Rock and his mother. The Rock and his mother kind of inspired them to become professional wrestlers. So they seem to be coming in. And then Fightful confirmed today that Tamatonga and Tongaloa's brother, Hikaleu, who was a former IWGP World Tag Team Champion earlier this year, he's
What's
officially
his
signed.
name? What's his
Hikaleu.
name?
Hikaleu.
I mean, these names are throwing me for a loop. Hikaleo, but okay, how many Samoans? I'm just talking now. How many Samoans are actively involved in pro wrestling right now that we know of?
There's a lot. There's a lot because
10? 10?
I think
10?
Rikishi's fourth son is a wrestler as well, and he looks huge. And then there's also Zilla Fatu, who is the son of Umaga. So there's a lot. There's a lot of them that can still
What do they
come in.
got? What do they got in Samoa? Baby factory? They, they must be
they,
heavy on that Viagra.
they just breed professional wrestlers. It
I
seems.
guess, they just pop them out here, there. Well, he'll start in 15 years and whatever. But, but I have never seen, even years and years and years ago, any of the Samoans be dangerous. Never. My first match was against Afa and Sika. That's when I first became acquainted with the Samoan gangs. But they were like silk. You never felt them. Now, how can you not feel a 300-pound guy? But they didn't. But I didn't, and they never. I've never heard of them hurting anyone. So they learned the craft and they learned it well. So
Love to see that. But Dutch, before we get into the rest of a good episode of SmackDown, like we've been saying here, we got a game to play. We got to play the Sportskeeda's newest game, which is called Brainbuster. It is over at sportskeeda.com/WWE. You could check it out. And it's what I got explained to me earlier today is that we start off this game by making a guess. You could say any wrestler's name, Dutch, and then we'll have different brackets explaining to us kind of what brand they're on, if they're a Hall of Famer or not, their gender, their height, and we'll have to guess what wrestler they are referring to. But you can give me any wrestler's name, past, present, future, dead or alive, to start this game off, Dutch. So give it to
does he
me.
have does he have to be in WWE
Yes, it has to be a
or
WWE wrestler.
WWF?
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you a name, just a name.
Yeah.
Teddy Long.
There we go. The Mac Militant come to bring it on. I hope he's here. I don't think he was a wrestler though. I think that's why they didn't come up here, but I'm gonna put it. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I think you're gonna have to pick another
Nothing.
one. Yeah, I think
Okay.
you're gonna have to pick another one.
I'm trying to think. Uh, Stan Hansen. He was in
Let's see if
WWE,
Stan.
right?
Yep, we got a Stan Hansen here. All right, all right.
Okay.
So it says Hall of Famer. Gender was a male.
Yep.
Uh,
Hall
okay.
of Famer. No, I don't think.
So Stan Hansen, yes, he's a Hall of
He is
Famer.
a Hall of Famer.
Male,
So
male,
so I'm
male.
so I'm already eliminated.
No, you.
Okay.
I don't know. I was vaguely given the instructions for this, so we're gonna
Vaguely. Okay.
vaguely. So I guess we got the green for Hall of Famer. So the person that we have to guess apparently is also a Hall of Famer. They're also a male, and they are below 6'4". So we have to figure out
This is a
who's
male
the
a, ma- a male wrestler under 6'4". That's a Hall of Famer. And that's
yeah.
all we got?
That's all we were given by you saying Stan Hansen. So all right, so we got all right. So who's under 6'4" and a Hall of Famer and a male? I'm gonna help you out here, Dutch, and I'm gonna
Well, you
say
got to help me
Ray
out because
Ray Mysterio.
Ray.
Okay. So what it says here is okay. SmackDown. Well, Ray's on Raw now. So this whole game is botched. Ray's on Raw now, but this is also so we're right on the money as far as the green because we got yes they're a Hall of Famer, yes
But
for
what
male,
would
but
they be?
apparently they're above 5'6". So they're above 5'6".
Can can
They're
I give another
they're
name?
yeah.
Randy Savage.
I like that. That's a good one. Randy Savage. Let's see. All right, we're making headway here. We got a couple of yellows here, Dutch. So yes for Hall of Famer, yes for male. We're still in that range, but this person is above 6'2". So all right, so we got from Stan
Randy
Hansen that
Savage
the
is not
person.
above 6'2".
No. He's 6'2". He's 6'2". But the person that we have to guess, and we only got four more guesses to figure out who this
Oh,
wrestler is. They are 6'3". Because look at this. Look at this, Dutch. What it says on the screen here. Stan Hansen. So the person that we have to guess is under 6'4". That Stan Hansen is, but he's also above 6'2". That Randy Savage is. So the person we're guessing has to be 6'3". And what we got from here is that Stan Hansen was 74, or would be 74. This person is below 74, but
and
I
above
guess
58.
older than 49 and older than 58. So they're in their 60s, and they have less than 14 appearances at WrestleMania and less than 11 appearances at WrestleMania. Let's see what the chat. I'm gonna before we do another guess. Let's see what the chat is saying here.
Let's see what
Are
the
you guys
chat is
gotta help
saying.
us? Yeah, you
You
guys gotta
guys
help
got to
us.
help.
Okay.
Earn your money, guys.
So we got a couple of people who are like me who thought Rey Mysterio. So we got Queen Monet says Shawn Michaels. We got a Tito Santana, and we got an Edge. Is Edge 6'3"? I think we should listen to the chat. What do you think, Dutch? Should we
Yeah.
listen to the chat and pick
Edge
Edge?
is 6'3", maybe taller.
Yeah, I think he's taller, but let's see about Edge because we only got three more shots here. I mean, four more shots here. All right. So what we got is no, this Edge is 6'5", guys. So we're still
Yep.
below. We gotta hit 6'3". We gotta find a Hall of Famer male who is 6'3". They are older than 58. So they're older than 58 years old, but they're younger than 74 years old. And they definitely have lower than 14 to 11 to 14 appearances and lower than 11 appearances at WrestleMania.
You
This is
see,
hard.
this is hard as hell. I mean, I can't remember my address. So you're going here and asking me all these questions. I need a lineup right in front of me.
Word.
I think it's
We need choices. All right. Tito Santana is not a bad shout. We got Rick Rude, Ted DiBiase. Those are also
Rick
not bad
Rude's
shots.
over 6'2".
Yeah.
DiBiase is too. I
We're
would
looking
think.
for someone who is 6'3" exactly. You guys can cheat and use the internet of Hall of
Yes.
Famers who are 6'3". Y'all need to help us out. Y'all need to cheat because we are not able to cheat like y'all can. Y'all can cheat for us and just look up Hall of Famers that are 6'3". We need Hall of Famers that are 6'3". I mean, Dutch, you can confirm. I think Jerry Lawler is shorter than 6'3".
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
like 5'6" now.
Yeah. We got Jeffrey Young who says the Undertaker. Undertaker is way
Oh,
taller than 6'3".
he's 6'8", 6'9".
All right, so we already chose Randy Orton, and that wasn't the pick, Alan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're just
Randy
chatting
Savage.
on.
He picked
But
Randy
we got
Savage.
Scott Hall. I think Scott Hall's
Taller.
taller than 6'3". MZ is saying Mr. Perfect and Hacksaw Jim Duggan are 6'3". You spent some time with Duggan. Is Duggan 6'3"? I think he's taller than that.
He's a pretty big boy. I would say he's over 6'3".
All right.
Yes.
So let's go.
But
Let's go.
perfect, I don't think is that's a good height for him, 6'3".
You think so?
I don't,
All right.
yeah.
Let's try Mr. Perfect. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Because we only got freaking 3 more shots at this. All right, Mr. Perfect. We unlocked
Clue
the
is a
clue. Look at that. Look at that. We unlocked the
whoa.
clue because we got 3 things right. Because the chat helped us out. They were right on the money with the 6'3". So
Show the clue.
all right. He won King of the Ring and became World Heavyweight Champion the same year by defeating Rey Mysterio. I know who it is, Dutch.
Yeah, this is your question. Who is it?
I will give you 1 clue, Dutch, to see if you can figure it
You
out.
could tell me the name and I'd still miss it. I'm bad on these games. All right, who is
They
it?
are they are a five-time WCW champion.
God. Dallas Page.
You're
No.
close. You're close. You're close. They made history, and the chat is trying to tell you, but I don't know if you're looking at the chat. Uh,
Oh, I'm not looking at the chat.
all right. I'm trying to give you another clue here because
I
I know
can't get
who
my
it is.
chat up anyway.
There we go.
I
That's
don't even know.
perfect. They are currently an announcer on WWE TV, but on a show you don't watch.
Currently, an announcer.
Yes, yes.
I don't know who it is.
This clue is way too specific that I automatically knew it once they told me. They should have just said this person won the King of the Ring, and it would have been simpler. But I'm trying to think of clues to give Dutch that Dutch can figure it out. They were a part of a famous tag team that had to do with a place in New York and something that has to do with fire.
Please. I still don't know it.
All right.
Uh,
I'll let you fill in the blank here. Harlem,
Heat.
who was a part of that team?
Booker T.
There
Oh,
we go.
he's over 6'3".
I'm guessing he was, but that is the answer. We did it. We did it. We did it. Look at that.
See? Now folks, see how easy this game is to play?
Look at that. Look at that.
But
Look
anyway,
at that.
but it made me think. Let's try one
Exactly.
more. Let's try one more.
That's like all
What?
right.
Hey, is this a free game to play? You know what I
Yes,
think?
it is free.
I suggested today they need to have a king of the ring during this tournament. Get your best people and pair them up against each other. You hear that, Riju? A king of the ring test quiz. I'd watch it. We just put them on the Zoom cameras and do it. How many would you have? How many would you have at one time? Contestants. 4.
I think yeah, you can have like 4 or 5. It'll be
Okay.
fun. Yeah, so how everybody can play this game, you go to sportskeeda.com/WWE. There's a tab at the top right next to the WWE option that says Brainbuster, and you get a new game every day. So
Okay.
we couldn't play a new game right now because there's still an hour left in the day, but in 1 hour, 13 minutes, you could play a whole new game that will have a whole new guest of a superstar for you to choose.
So this is just a WWE game.
Yes,
It's not.
WWE
It's not a
specific.
total wrestling game.
But we
WWE.
gotta we
Okay.
gotta we gotta look at this because we got NXT, we got a WWE Hall of Famer. He was male, 6'3". That was the key clue for us. Six
You
three. That
left
they were
me.
6'3". Uh, are you here? You can hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So,
he's 6'3".
can we
He's
play?
he's
Can we play one more game? Now you've hooked me on this thing.
no. You gotta wait an hour and 13 minutes. An
Well,
hour and
maybe I
13
don't
minutes,
want
a
to. I
whole new.
don't. I don't want to wait. Can I pay money and play another game? What
You
is it?
could play the previous game. You could play this game again, but you know the answer now.
Okay. But hey, you did good. Hey,
You you did good too.
I would like to see you and Rick play this game.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. We'll do that next week. We'll do that next week
Who would win?
When Rick is back. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I am the first ever Black Quizzlemania champion. I'm very known for my love of trivia and my ability to play these trivia games. So
Hey, I'll moderate it, and you play Rick.
there we
I
go.
don't want no cheating. I don't want no hanky panky. I want it straight down the middle. And if he tries to cheat, I will eject him from the game like that.
Yeah,
So, and you
I
too, by the
do.
way.
I do agree with this suggestion that my only suggestion would be that yeah, you should be able to play like more than one game a day. That would be my
Oh yeah,
suggestion for the sports key to
you
people who are watching.
yeah, you have to. Well, it's a new game, and it's open for suggestions. So,
Yeah.
because I'm not the arbiter of this, you like that word arbiter? I'm not the judge of
Hmm.
this. Sid is not either. So, enter your suggestions, and I swear they will be dealt with. And they may be great suggestions, and I hope you get them.
Yes, but we got to talk about the rest of Friday Night SmackDown from this
We
week.
do.
So
I want to play this
yes,
game. I want to play this game now.
the opening
I'm hooked on it now.
I can tell. I can tell. The opening contest, though, you had Carmelo Hayes,
Let me
which
ask you one. Let me ask you one trivia question.
go ahead.
Who wrestled 15 years without a day off?
Dutch Mantell.
Oh no, I had a lot of days off. I got fired a lot. I had a lot of days off. You know where I read that today? Ric Flair
Where?
was on ESPN, and he put that out that he wrestled 15 years without a day off. But anyway, it was actually pretty good. So, all
It
right.
was
So
entertaining.
what are we talking about now?
So the opening contest, you had Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. They did a
Good
nice
good
little
match.
promo with Carmelo where he was getting his haircut in like the dressing room, and the video was stylized. And Hayes spoke to the camera saying that he would beat Andrade, and then we got just a fast paced, really kind of all thriller, no filler type of matchup. It went just under 10 minutes with a commercial in between. That would be my only complaint because this was a really good matchup. It was nice, fast paced action between both guys. You had the nice little reversal as Carmelo was ready for the Spanish fly, and he reversed it into the fadeaway, the leg drop off the springboard. We get a replay of the Spanish fly that happened during commercial break, and then eventually Hayes tries to go for the nothing but net, but Andrade is able to move out the way, and he hits the message to pick up the victory here. Really damn good matchup between these two guys. They had great chemistry out there
No,
together. What did you think?
no, they had good chemistry, good timing. They didn't rush it. They told a story, and I really liked this match. They did it well, and I don't think you can't do a TV match better than that. You might do one as good, but this was textbook, and they did a great job. You like that word textbook? I stole it from somebody. I was watching ESPN or something. I stole it.
Hey, you don't have to admit you stole it. Just steal it. Um, next up, we get one of my probably my one of my favorite segments of the night outside of the Bloodline. You had Bayley and Nia Jax with a sit down interview. Jax cuts off Corey Graves early on, who's trying to ask a question, and she says everyone should start feeling bad for Bayley because Jax is gonna put Bayley down at SummerSlam. And Bayley says that Nia hasn't changed after all these years, after they met 10 years ago. Jax
10 years
demanded
ago.
Jax demanded to be called the Queen of the Ring. Bayley said that Jax walks around like she owns the place, and Bayley recalled how Nia took her out ahead of her SummerSlam matchup in 2017, and she didn't take her out because she's big and dominant. She took her out because she's big, clumsy, and reckless. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, Bayley. Jax stewed for a bit. You could tell it angered her being called clumsy and reckless, and she got silent for a second. Then she says
But
she's
you know
coming
what I
for the title.
you know what I like about that? Because that's what the internet said about her.
Yeah,
She's big, she's clumsy, she's dangerous. So when she repeated it back to her, people said, "Oh, now she's being told." So they know she's being told that. That will be I would actually like to see that match from SummerSlam.
yeah.
I
They
think
added
that
they
would be
added some
good.
heat to the matchup with this sit down interview here. Nia says she's coming for the title because she wants to take it off of Bayley specifically, and Bayley responds by saying that she has bad news for Nia. Bayley says she has changed since 2017, and she will walk out of SummerSlam with the WWE Women's Championship. Jax was flustered and took the mic off of her shirt and stormed out of the frame. So really good segment as far as like building heat for the SummerSlam matchup.
Okay, what's your prediction for the match, the finish?
I think that Nia is going to be on the verge of victory, and Tiffany Stratton comes in and cashes in and pins Bayley to become the women's champion.
Okay, when does she come? And she can come in at any time.
Yep.
You don't have to have a pin.
Nope.
Okay, that's a good finish.
Yeah.
Now all that problems that uh, Tiffany is having with Nia, now it comes to a head.
Yep.
And now they got a three-way going for a while, and then they branch off. Very good. I like that finish.
And that led in nicely to what we saw later in the night as it was Meechin versus Tiffany Stratton. And I've been liking, Meechin getting a whole bunch of time on TV. This match went just over 8 minutes. It had a commercial in between. So we saw about 5 minutes of it, but it was pretty good action between the two ladies. That Alabama slam on the floor before the commercial break that Tiffany did to Meechin was very impressive. But the finish comes when Bayley shows up to distract Tiffany Stratton as he's about to go for the prettiest moonsault ever. She avoids Nia Jax charging at her and hits her with the Money in the Bank briefcase. She then proceeds to break and destroy the Money in the Bank briefcase in front of
No
Tiffany
respect.
Stratton.
No
No respect at
respect.
all. This leads to Meechin rolling her up for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory. But I think that this was all done for Tiffany Stratton to come back with a Barbie briefcase. It's going to be a pink briefcase for Tiffany now moving forward.
Another good suggestion. Hey, if that happens, we're going to charge them. We're going to charge WWE Creative because you heard it here first. So fans, stick with us. We may have to sue WWE Creative. No, I'll get us some
That's what
money.
we're
Though.
all about.
I'll just call Triple H and say, "Hey, man, you guys listen to our show. We got good ideas. So hey, throw some money this way, okay?"
I agree.
Because
We need the extra money.
nobody's doing any gifts tonight. Damn, what a bunch of. Oh, go ahead.
All right, we do have a super chat donation here from Young Reckless. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. Talking about the bloodline here, he says Roman versus Solo at 41. Rock the referee, then turn on Roman. I don't think The Rock is going to be the referee. I think The Rock is going to be too busy facing Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 41. But I could see The Rock getting involved and being the difference maker for Solo to pick up the victory over Roman to set up Rock and Roman at 42.
See, the good thing about this, we don't know how Roman's going to come back. We think
Yeah.
he's going to come back as a heel. But what if he turned over
No,
to
I think he's going to
babyface?
come back as a baby face.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, Young and Restless, give us another here. Give us a 4.99, and we'll answer your question. Say what do you think he's going to do, Young and Restless? Tell us,
Let
but
us know. Let us
add
know.
some figures on there, like 1999.
Agreed. Agreed for sure.
Brother, you're just careless. You just throw it out there. Hey, throw us some money. Okay, go ahead. But I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
You don't think? Do
I
you
think
think we get an interview from The Rock on the screen?
I don't think we're gonna see The Rock back until like either the end of the year or the Netflix era on Raw.
Hmm. Okay, we're going to
Yeah.
hold you to that.
Hey,
Now,
hey.
folks,
Yeah.
if you ever hear Sid say something and he puts it down as fact, I want you to tear his ass up and say, no, no, you said this and said this. And like, screenshot your screen when he says it so we can bring him back. And so,
Clip us and drag me on Twitter at
yeah,
TrueHillSP3.
and I'll
Uh,
help you.
I did like that they did the little music video for Tiffany, the pink bubble gum. That was nearly nice to kind of show her rise through NXT and the main roster before her matchup. But good stuff with the women involved here. Meechin getting the win, Tiffany Stratton getting her briefcase destroyed. We also had another women's matchup as earlier in the night there was Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill were going to Nick Aldis's office when they ran into Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They both wanted to talk to Nick Aldis about, I guess, a tag team title shot, but Belair winded up challenging Green to settle their issue outside of Nick Aldis's office. And this was barely a match. It went less than a minute. Bianca Belair picks up the victory with a roll up after reversing Chelsea Green. And then post match, we get Alba Fire and Isla Dawn pop up on the Titantron, and they say that they will see the former champions next week, and they will talk about tag team title rematch. So nothing
There's
much
something
to write
about
home here, but
Yeah, there's something about that team that's not hitting with me. What's her name? Fire? What's her name?
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
There's something to me. I'm saying for me, she may hit for somebody else or some other people, but that team is not hitting for me. Maybe they
That's
need
fair.
more time, but there's something missing with them. I think they're trying to be too cute, but that's creative's. That's creative's job. Hell, you gotta you gotta work it out, guys. I can't do your work for you, but
Yep.
there's just something missing there. And they're a lot bigger. The Bianca and they're a lot bigger than Fire and what's her name? I don't even know their
Fire and Dawn.
names.
Fire and
Fire and
Dawn.
Dawn. So
Yeah,
and now
this was the
they have
instant,
been.
when we were talking about before with Bayley, before she really started her rivalry with Nia and Tiffany. Remember when I was saying, when Bayley showed up on the screen, I was like, oh yeah, Bayley is the WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah,
I'm getting that feeling with Fire and Dawn. When they popped up on the screen with the tag team titles, I was like, oh yeah, they are the tag team champions because they're barely here. They're barely on SmackDown.
but at least they're giving them some recognition, some exposure, so it's not like they're unknown. And it
Yeah,
takes a while. This is a work in progress. That's what a wrestling creative team does. It's a work in progress. And if you tell a story, and I've said this 1,000 times, you tell a story with legs, it'll carry you a long way. So let's
sure.
see where they go with it.
All right, so the final thing for us to cover on this show was LA Knight and Logan Paul contract signing. After last week, where Nick Aldis delivered the contract to LA Knight for SummerSlam, you get LA Knight. He comes out first. The crowd very much into LA Knight. When Logan Paul then comes out, he gets booed the hell out of the building. Big LA Knight chants. Paul lobbies some insults at LA Knight, saying that he looks like a person from the Arabian Nights. And he's asked the crowd why he should give LA Knight a shot at the U.S. Championship. LA Knight gets on the microphone and says, maybe Paul is right, but and maybe Paul should take a walk because LA Knight recounts all the times he's cooked and fried up Logan Paul. He said he walked down the aisle last year and he told Logan Paul, he gave him a map of where he could stick his prime bottles up. Then he said, in the meantime, Logan Paul has won the U.S. Championship, and LA Knight called Paul the man as long as he holds that title. LA Knight said he thought he'd ask for a shot at it, and Paul said no. So what did he do? He took things into his own hands. He showed up at Paul's house and he used his pool as his personal bathroom. He said that your friends just let me in there and I did my thing. Knight said that none of it led to Knight getting what he wanted, but he did get a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup in Madison Square Garden, and he pinned Logan Paul. What he really wants now, though, is the U.S. Championship. Paul cuts Knight off, and he actually calls him by his shoot name. He says, "All right, relax, Sean." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Is that his
Shots
shoot
fired
name?
there. Yeah, that's his shots fired there. Yes, called him Sean.
Now
Then
he brought his brother in. That's angling for a fight with who's a heavyweight boxer. He's angling for a
Mike
fight
Tyson.
with.
He's gonna first Mike
Yeah.
Tyson in November.
Oh, he is going to fight him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that was actually a interesting interview. I didn't know where it was going. Some pretty good shots back and forth, but these guys can do it,
Yeah.
and they don't get in a hurry. They don't get in a rush. But I enjoyed this interview. That
Paul
Logan
says
Paul,
that.
he's over.
Oh
He's
yeah.
big time over.
Paul says that Knight's existence is defined by what Knight does in the ring, but that's not the case for Logan Paul. He followed up that saying the last name Paul is in the zeitgeist. He says that his brother is one of the biggest boxers, while he's one of the biggest stars in WWE. Paul said that Knight doesn't move like a Paul. Knight is not him, and for someone who defines himself by what happens in the ring, he hasn't done anything noteworthy in the last 20 years. Paul made the comment that LA Knight is a comedy jock with all the catchphrases, but he isn't The Rock. Which at this point he says, Knight says that feels dated. He's like, I've heard that before. Knight said that Paul was a fraud, and he says that Paul's brother would jump in the ring with Mike Tyson, but Logan doesn't have the balls to step in the ring with Knight. And he says that I guess balls is not hereditary, and this leads to
Yeah,
Logan
that's
getting
good.
so fired up that he decides to finally sign the contract. And he says after SummerSlam, he'll take everything from Knight. And Logan did even did the yeah catchphrase. Paul threw the contract at Knight. This leads to all this separating the two men as they start pushing one another. Paul leaves the ring, and then he jumps back into the ring when Knight turns around. He tries to attack him, but Knight turns it around. He's able to almost go for the BFT before Logan Paul eventually bails and gets out of there. I thought that this segment was even better than the Bloodline segment. For the first time in a long time, I think the Bloodline did not have the best segment on the show. This was really good, and the tension felt palpable. It felt real between those two guys. You felt like these were two guys that did not like each other. They're really good talkers. They're both over with the crowd. This is going to be a really good title match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, if they'd have had a match, it'd been less than this. They didn't need to have a match. They need just to have a talking segment because that's where their strong points are. They're great talkers, back and forth, trash talkers, and that's what the people. If you hear a good trash talking segment, even on the streets, it's interesting because if they say something, the other guys say, "Hey, you didn't need to say blah blah blah." The guys hit a nerve somehow. So this was. I agree with you. This was a good segment between these two.
Yeah, they really knocked this one out the park. Really enjoyed this one, but that is the entire SmackDown episode that we watched tonight. I thought it was an easy watch. I would say not as high as like you said, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. But I would say a solid 7 out of 10 for me. What about you?
Yeah, I'll say that a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 7. I'll give it a 7 because I wonder what Rick would give it. Like a 5. because you can't trust him anyway. But it was But listen, I want to play that game one more time. Can we do it?
It's
What's
gonna
the
be the
name of
same
it?
answer. It's gonna be the same answer, Dutch.
We hadn't gone an
Brainbuster.
hour. We hadn't gone an hour
No,
yet.
no. We
We're
haven't gone
six
an hour
minutes
yet.
off. Oh, we
No,
started at
we're like
10 Eastern
50,
time.
50 we're like 54 minutes off. 50 when it hits midnight, then you can play the game again.
Oh God. Anyway, so anyway, good show. I enjoyed it. And hey, has anybody sent us any notes today?
We just
Or are
had
they just
Young
acting like
Reckless.
we're naughty? We're not
Young
even. And
Reckless was
yeah,
the only one.
Young and Reckless didn't even come back. He didn't come back to say hey. He didn't come back and do a wave. He did nothing. He just ignored us. Okay, Young and Restless, we're gonna have to ban you from here on out. So unless
Well, we
those
got
aren't you?
Queen
Wait a minute.
Queen
Who's this?
Monet, who says she's a little frustrated with the amount of time they gave Chelsea and Bianca. She said, "What was the point of that? They should either give them more time or don't do the match." I can see that point. That's a good point.
No, that's what they had it scheduled for. You remember it, right?
I won't
Tina,
remember. I won't remember it after tomorrow. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to. Just remember tonight. And hey, usually when I would have a match and I'd get pinned, I'd want it short so people would kind of forget about it.
That's
What
fair.
I used to do when I would have a match and I'd get beat, I wanted the last thing they remember is me pitching a damn temper tantrum. I jump up and down and grab the ropes and kick my feet out and beat the mat like a little baby, mad because he lost. That's what they would remember when the night's over. They would remember the guy rolled me up in a small package. They'd forget that. But what they would remember is my temper tantrum, and I did it all the time. Somebody asked me, why do you do that? I said, well, why not? Won't you do it sometimes? You get beat more than I do. You should be doing that. But anyway,
We
but
got
that was what I have.
Benjamin asks, what else are they going to add to the SummerSlam card? I think the SmackDown side of SummerSlam is already already set in stone, already official with Cody and Solo, Bayley and Nia, Logan and LA Knight. I think it's over on Monday Night Raw. Like you got to get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre confirmed for the SummerSlam,
What's
and
Gunther doing?
Gunther is facing Damian Priest. That's already confirmed. The two matches
Oh,
from Raw that's already confirmed is
that's a good matchup.
Priest and Gunther and Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
So
but I think they got to add Punk and Drew. They also got to add maybe
I
something
thought
with the
Punk
Wyatt
was
Six.
okay. I want to say something about the Wyatt Six.
Okay,
I'm beginning to lose interest in them already for some reason. They
really?
don't do they don't do nothing. Hey, the same thing with Bray Wyatt, right? He would go out there and talk, but he wasn't a good guy, but he wasn't a bad guy either. He was like in between, and he would go and he did good interviews. But when he would finish, I'm talking about me now again. It's all about me anyway. But when he would finish, I would think, I don't remember one thing he said because the people didn't know whether to hate him or to like him. And that went to, when he took that long, he got hurt or something. What did he take all that time off for?
Well, he got
Something wrong
sick.
with him?
He
Okay, okay.
got he got sick the last time before he passed away. Then before that, when he was out before he made his comeback in the after Triple H took over creative, that was because he got released from his contract.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah,
But anyway, the way they treated him last time, he was there. He was interesting, but he didn't really do anything that would make me either like him more or kind of dislike him more. And I'm afraid they're doing the Wyatt Six almost the same way. They drug their feet on him. Now, that was with the old regime, I know, but it looks like the Wyatt Six, they're dragging their feet on this one. So we'll see where this goes. But to me, I have no interest in them right now. Zero. Not zero, but say 20%. but
That's fair.
they got a pretty good lineup. But they need to do something with them.
I've been liking the promo work by Bo Dallas and especially the Eric Rowan promo from this past Monday. But I can understand if you're talking about the group as a whole, they haven't done much. Like this past Monday was the first time they were actually in the ring for the first time in a month since they debuted. So I can understand that it's a nuanced kind of conversation that you can
So
like be already done with it.
have they had a match yet?
No.
Okay, are they going to have the match with the mask on, or I'm sure they'll
I
pull those
hope
off
I hope not. I hope they would take
because that
those
makes them
off for
look
the actual match.
it makes them look carny as hell. I think. So let's pull the mask off, and I don't know. I'm not sold on the Wyatt Six yet. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
We shall see.
What
But
else?
thank you guys for joining us today. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on demand. We appreciate you. Drop the thumbs up on the video. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on Facebook, drop a thumbs up, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji. However, SmackDown made you feel and Smack Talk today made you feel, let us know. And like we said before, sportskeeda.com/WWE. Check out the Brainbuster game that we played earlier. But Dutch, the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you and see what you're doing outside of Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge.
Well, I'm writing another book. I think I'm gonna call it the Book of Dutch. That's a good name, right? You think?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to pick it up where the other books stopped because I don't tell one story from beginning to end. I tell a lot of separate stories or incidents or whatever at different times in my career. So you can read a chapter, but you don't have to go to the next chapter because it's going to be a totally different chapter. All the chapters are self-contained, and I'm hoping to have it out by Christmas, but don't quote me on that. But if you need to know, I'm still other two books are for sale, and to find out how to get two of them, you can email me at dirtydutchmantell@gmail.com, and you get all the information. Plus, I have a University of Dutch diploma. Do you have that? Do you have
No,
a
I don't.
SID
I need
University
one.
of SID diploma?
No, I want a University of Dutch diploma. That's what I want.
Oh, you do? I'll send you one, and it will only be like half price. No, no, I'll send you one. But it looks very good. It looks just like a regular diploma. You put it on the wall, and somebody comes in and want to talk wrestling, you can say, "Where did you get your diploma on pro wrestling from?" And they say, "Well, I don't have one." You said, "Exactly, but I do."
Exactly.
And you see University of Dutch. Your name is right there under it, stamped, signed, ready to go. It looks like the real deal. So, but that's how you can get a hold of me. So don't wear me out, but I'll get back to you.
And also worth note on the SmackDown episode, we saw a backstage segment with LA Knight and Santos Escobar to set up a match for next week. We also got Nia and Tiffany going to be teaming up against Michin and Bayley, and there'll be a tag team gauntlet to determine the number one contenders for DIY WWE Tag Team Championship. So we'll see how that goes next week, and we'll talk about it next week here on Smack Talk. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3, and I will be back on YouTube tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. So check me out over on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel for that. But for Dutch Mantell, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Smack Talk on Sportskeeda by Wrestle Binge. We are signing off. Until next time.